I mean, you could kill a lion with these rocks, I reckon. I can't get over this.
Can have chocolate. Yeah, I mean, it's just like
This is nuts.
they're nuts. Well, I'd like to welcome our audience members viewing at home for a very special episode of Candy Between Company, one I am very excited for, with our highly esteemed guest, Russ MacLaughlin. Welcome, Russ.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be out here.
Russ is a world-renowned wildlife cinematographer in extraordinarily high demand. For the best of the best, Nat Geo, BBC, Apple Plus, Disney, you name it. Russ has done it, right?
Yeah. I've been around.
Yeah.
Worked on every continent. Currently, my life has taken a little bit of a turn. I've been living out of a tent in Botswana and spending every day with lions. So different kind of animal.
Yeah, a little less lively, that one.
So it's been a hell of an experience. So just getting to know them, and at the stage, I've watched them grow up since birth, and now they're almost getting to adulthood. So I've nearly just spent a full cycle with lions growing up, just living very, very remotely out there. So it's been a hell of an experience. And very different, especially coming out to the city like this.
From the bush to the big city, to find yourself sitting here to try some candy.
Yeah.
So a little less life and death.
Yeah. It's safer.
Yeah, safer.
We'll see.
But hopefully no less exciting, right?
Yeah.
So what is your history with candy?
Well, growing up in South Africa, it's always a treat. So, even out when we're in the field, it's something that we'll have out in the field. Something to snack on whilst lions are sleeping. Going back home, but I've with all my travels, it's very interesting to see and taste and experience, what every continent and every country has to offer as well. So this is going to be quite exciting to see what's on the cards here.
What's in store for you?
Yeah.
Well, one we got over here. This is our hungry hippo. She's also the hider of our candy.
Yeah.
We have yet to settle on a name for her, as we're a young podcast here. The working title is, I believe, Fiorucci.
Okay.
We're not sure if she's Italian or French, but if you got any, if she strikes you, if there's a name, we welcome you telling us your first impression.
Yeah, I've got to figure that one out. I spent a lot of time seeing them out in the wild, so yeah.
They rarely look this friendly, huh?
No, they're definitely not this friendly. It's one animal out there that I've got an absolute fear of, because they can just turn on you so quickly. I have been chased a few times by them, and I don't recommend it at all.
And for a big animal, deceptively fast, right?
I mean, I've seen them, turn lions around and they're just running for their lives. And it's happened to me a few times. When you just least expect it.
And then when you get on the water with them, they're quick and they can hide fast. Huh?
It's just it's the most deceiving animal out there. It's just how big and fast they actually are. So and they love to eat. So
and so I think on that we should pop her open and see what's in there.
Yeah, let's go for it.
And they do love to eat. I can tell you that Fiorucci here, not fast, not going to turn on you.
No,
at least hasn't to date. She seems moisturized, happy, and content. So got a couple things in here, but the first of which is, because I know that you have some experience with animals, and often the most dangerous animals, apex predators. This is not an apex predator. These are cowtails.
Okay.
So I don't know. You take a look at that. You can tell me what your first impression is, and I don't know. Do you know what your experience with cows are?
I tried to ride one once. It didn't end so well for me. Yeah. After a few drinks, there was one caught in it was like how would you say it, like a paddock, and I was caught in the wires. And then I thought it would be a good idea to see if I could ride it out of the paddock, and it didn't end so well for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No good ending?
No.
So a little PSA here at Candy Between Company. I mean, frankly, I encourage you to try to ride a cow, but it might not end so well. If you do try it at home, let us know how it goes. But be safe out there.
Yeah. The other cows I've been working with are buffaloes, and that's a
Now, buffaloes are one of the big five,
yeah,
right?
that's one of the big five. And I have had some very close. I've been run over by one, which was not pleasant.
Run over and live to tell the tale.
Yeah, and I've seen them kill lions. I've seen lions kill them. It's my latest film is very much working with the biggest herd of buffaloes that's ever been documented. It's so vast; it stretches from one horizon to the other horizon.
Wow.
So it's quite a sight when you see them walking in. And then you've got, a pride of 30 lions waiting for them on the other end, and it's just this big fight that ends up happening.
So how does a buffalo go at it? What's their competitive advantage?
Brute force and numbers.
force.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Big boys.
Yeah. They
Do they team up?
yeah, they will. They the lions they try and get them running, and once they got running, they've got the advantage. But if the buffaloes stand ground, the lions aren't going to get in there. Like that's particularly where I've been making my film out in Botswana. It's I would say it's almost like an age-old battle of eternal enemies with them. Constantly battling it out every day. It's just life and death out there. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to turn my attention back to the candy, although I don't want to. You're the first guest where I'd rather just hear your stories than look at the candy. So this says the original cowtails. I got to be honest, I haven't had a cowtail before, so I'm excited. It says chewy caramel with a cream center. Don't know what the cream center is. We will find out. And it's by Goats. Goats says? Don't know. So we do this thing on Candy Between Company for the audio files out there where we do a little candy ASMR. So we get quiet and just, not really much that this packaging doesn't really lend itself to ASMR. But why don't we just tear one open and
give it a go.
Yeah. One serving, 120 calories. That'll be good for breakfast. All right, well, first impressions are, it's definitely a nice brown. Yeah, go for it. What do you? That's a good start. Oh, that's nice. So hit me with your first thoughts. We do taste, do sort of a mouthfeel score.
I would say very good. Definitely not something I would get back home. It's not what I expected. The caramel hits the spot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they filled it with. The cream inside gives it a unique taste and chewiness. It's good.
On that chewiness part, caramel can often be like very chewy or very hard.
Get stuck in your teeth the whole time.
Get stuck in your teeth. I mean, I do have a little stuck in my teeth, but this you're not going to have to work hard for. It's both soft enough but not too soft. It really just bite through pretty easy. Get a hint of the caramel, and then the cream starts hitting you, and it's a real nice cream. I gotta say,
Cowtails
I'm a fan.
for the win.
never really had focused on a cow tail before, but happy to have it. Now, I do have another candy in here for us to try, which is also something I've never seen before, but for a big burly man who spends his time in the bush with apex predators, felt like a good strong candy to try. But I think now is a good time for our one good fact. We do a one good fact here, just so if the audience has gotten nothing out of this, they've at least gotten one good fact. This one's actually a couple facts. I looked up about cows. Two things I didn't know. One, cows have a best friend. They're very social. They have a great memory for faces, and it turns out they have best friends in their life. So just know that when we're eating a steak, that steak had a best friend.
Yeah, they definitely had a best friend.
Yeah.
Shame.
Not going to stop eating steaks. You seem like a guy that likes a good steak.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a treat. It's a very big African thing.
Yeah. So what are you eating out in the bush? You're there for months at a time.
So we have our traditional way of cooking over the fire. You call it barbecue over here. We call it a braai back down that side of the world. Mm-hmm. And a lot of cooking over the hot coals and stuff. But your very varied meats. Beef is very big, which is really nice. Africa, everything's still free roaming, and vast tracts of land that everything's on. The lamb is, sheep are really big. Fish in certain areas, freshwater fish, and then we've got our traditional stuff. Chicken's also huge, but it all varies. We try and mix it up. Long days in the field, and always try and eat nice at night. I always think that's one of the most important things is a good meal after a long day, sitting in the sun looking at either lions sleeping or lions and buffalo fighting each other.
So cool.
Yeah.
How about we should we check out what else is in there?
Yeah, let's do it.
Now this one, let's see if I can. Chocolate rocks.
Chocolate rocks. I can't say I've seen that before.
I'd never seen it, and it doesn't look all that appealing. Although they do look like rocks, it's pretty cool. Dig in, which might be also a pun on how one can get rocks. Not angry at it. What do you think of this package?
This is going to be interesting. It's quite heavy.
That was my first thought too. I mean, they really you pick it up and you go, this is a bag of rocks.
Yeah, this is heavy. I mean, you could throw this at someone.
So also, defensive candy.
Yeah.
This is the first in our defensive candy series.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting taking a bite into. They all look different, but yeah.
Now, when we were first out there still, roaming the bush like everything else, the ability to throw some rocks was one of the first things that started to separate us, right? I don't know if that came before, that probably was before spears and before fire, right?
Yeah. That, put that into a slingshot there. Do some damage.
Well, it's good to know as we sit in East Hollywood and sometimes need to protect ourselves that if I had a slingshot, I could also be protected. So I'm going to crack this open here. Give that a whiff. It smells a little bit like rocks, I'm not going to lie.
It looks like rocks as well.
It looks like rocks, it smells like rocks. Very curious. I mean, it's got almost, why don't you grab one of those? It's even got a metallic sheen like a rock. How are your teeth? You got some good teeth? Some strong teeth? Because this could be a danger. I mean, really, this might just be rocks. I might have been sold a bag of rocks.
It's a rock! A rock! A rock!
I think we have been sold a bag of rocks.
Well, it's non-GMO, peanut-free, and how about that, gluten-free? There aren't many candies out there that are gluten-free, so and kosher. I see that little Circle K. Don't know who makes this. It looks like it might be the company It's Sugar. It's their private label. So let's give a rock a try. I'll take the. Okay, so it explodes on you. You can get through it. It's thicker than most chocolate I'd eat. And
It's solid, eh?
it's solid, and it to get that density. I mean, we got a second bite right here, so even when you lick the outside and it gets wet, it almost looks like a river sheen. I mean, they really did the outside here pretty well. It's real artisan work.
Yeah.
What's not artisan work is the taste.
Yeah.
It's not the best chocolate I've had, right?
It's interesting. I think you got to be careful eating these ones. Yeah, I can see some people losing teeth with this.
I mean, the first ingredient is compound chocolate. So I don't know what that means other than, first ingredient to chocolate is compounded chocolate. I am going to give one more bite, though. I mean, it's kind of fun because you really gotta bite it carefully.
If you put these on a table, no one would pick these up.
Yeah, no one will pick them up. If you put them on a table and said they're chocolate rocks, some people would pick them up. If you've tasted them, you might not pick them up a second time.
True. This is a first.
All right. Well,
Well, interesting.
would you, I mean, I'm impressed.
I can't get over the weight of it.
Yeah, it's the weightiest candy I've ever bagged. I mean, you really, when I picked it up in the store, it was like, oh wow, this is they did that right.
Yeah,
They really they were set out to create chocolate rocks, and they created the damn near closest to a rock chocolate I think they could.
I was waiting to bite into it. It was actually going to be a real rock.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, so if you like a little bit, just a tinge of fear while eating candy, I think the chocolate rocks might be for you.
This packet is so heavy.
Yeah, so heavy. I have no good facts about chocolate rocks or rocks at the moment, but I was just remembering one more thing about cows. Cows have near 360-degree vision because their eyes are set on the side of their heads.
Yeah.
They actually just have a blind spot right in front of them, which I've found in my life. Sometimes I have a blind spot right in front of me too, actually. Are there any, I guess just sort of in the vision thing. Well, I guess the birds, the raptors and the other predators, they have the most impressive vision on Earth, probably, huh?
I always find them, and then the primate species, being out there, we utilize monkeys and baboons to help us find things quite often, just because they can see things a lot further and their eyesight. And then certain bird species, we utilize them just by certain ways they fly and certain calls that they make, and we are able to, figure out, oh, there's some lions out in that direction there, or with the baboons, calling in a certain way, we know that they're looking at something. So, it is quite important, understanding the animals and knowing what they're looking at as well. So it does. You do work off each other quite a lot out there, which is not something you would actually think of.
Yeah, it's good to have sources on the ground and in the air.
Yeah, using nature as your source.
Yeah,
helping you out, which is fantastic.
So are there any projects in the can or coming out that you'd like to mention to our audience, or anything that you're working on that you're really excited about?
So currently, my lion film in Botswana is, this is the most exciting thing I've ever worked on. But there are 2 projects coming out this year. One's just recently come out on Apple called, I think it was called The Secret Life of Animals. I might be wrong on that title, but I think that's it. And the BBC, there's a new series coming out, I think in April, one of the David Attenborough series. And then there is a big one coming out, I think June, on National Geographic Disney Plus on their channel, which is it's a very big project. I think it's going to take over 10 years to finish.
Wow.
When it's all completed, but they're tackling every continent at a time. And we finished the stuff in Africa, so Africa is going to be season 1, and that's coming out this year sometime. So that's going to be quite exciting to see.
A busy and prolific man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time here with us today
Likewise,
and trying some cowtails and
some rocks.
And some rocks.
Yeah, I can't get over these rocks.
Yeah, they're wild.
Yeah.
So for, just for sheer novelty's sake, I think we give the rocks a high rating. Not the best taste,
I think so.
Well, thank you for joining us at home on another wonderful episode of Candy Between Company with, once again, the incredible Russ MacLaughlin. Thank you for taking the time here.
Yeah, thanks for having me over here.
Hope to visit you in the bush one day.
Yeah, you got to do that. Hey there.
Oh, and, just remember to find a little bit of sweetness out there in your day. And please tune back in. Thank you.
That was good.
This was fabulous.
Yeah, thank you.